Hey, it's me, GV, and welcome to this week's Sub Saturdays, ladies and gentlemen. This one's going to be really big, so let's jump right into it. So I've mentioned going to the gym a couple of times on this channel, but every time I've gone to the gym, I've been on that diet, which I've been on for like 2 or 3 years, that doesn't allow you to eat carbs and also makes it so that you eat very little. On Monday, I decided that the diet had done its job. I lost 100 pounds, and right now it's not really healthy. It's more unhealthy than it is healthy. On Monday, I also decided to start going back to the gym bigger and better than ever, especially now because I can eat normally. So the point of this Sub Saturdays is to let you guys know what I'm going to be eating, how I'm going to be eating, and what I'm going to be doing at the gym, because I know a lot of you have a lot of expertise and I really want your feedback. So if at any point while watching this video you guys want to tell me something, pause the video and make a comment below. I'll be reading all of them and replying to as many as I can. So let's start with how I'll be eating. So keep in mind, this is with drinking 2 cups of water before every meal, eating breakfast within 30 minutes of waking up, and taking a multivitamin, and eating 3 times a day every 3 to 4 hours. So for breakfast, within 30 minutes of waking up, I eat 2 whole grain English muffins with Skippy natural peanut butter spread on top, and the multivitamin. For lunch on gym days, I try to get something with carbs. So far, I've gone to Subway and got a whole grain 6-inch sub with chicken and some baked chips. And then for Wednesday, I went to a pho place, and it's like Vietnamese noodles, and I ate like half the bowl of those noodles and grilled chicken. So I also just bought around $200 worth of cooking stuff, and one day out of the week, probably more as time goes on, I'm going to be cooking a meal, usually based on pasta, probably. For lunch on non-gym days, I'm going to have some cold cuts, some raw broccoli, and the cold cuts are usually turkey or chicken, some raw broccoli, and some hummus to dip the broccoli into. For dinner on pretty much most of the days, I'm going to be eating the same thing as lunch on non-gym days, the cold cuts, the broccoli, and the hummus, with a different meat usually, but because I bought all this cooking stuff and I didn't really expect to get into cooking when I started going to the gym, I'll probably be making something with, you know, some chicken and vegetables and stuff here and there. So on Saturday, anything goes. If you remember me talking about the diet, there was a cheat day and I just ate like a crazy amount of stuff. I'm gonna try and keep the calories to about half on Saturday, but you know, I'm able to eat whatever I want pretty much. But what that's usually going to boil down to is like Chinese for lunch, like Jack in the Box or some other place like that for dinner, and maybe like some chips in the day. But I'm not gonna be drinking all that soda, I'm not going to be eating all that ice cream, and I'm not going to be going out at midnight the night before and getting, you know, some Taco Bell or something. So that's it for my diet. Let's move on to exercise. So I go to the gym every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday are full body workouts, and Sunday is like an hour of cardio. So the first thing before I leave is I stretch at home. After that, I ride my bike to the gym, which is 10 minutes there and 10 minutes back around. And there, you know, this is Colorado, so you can definitely feel the incline, and it's a lot harder riding to the gym than back. Once on the gym, I get on the treadmill and walk for around 5 minutes just to cool down before the workout starts. And after that, I go basically from top to bottom. I do 8 to 12 reps and 3 sets for pretty much every exercise. And I mainly stick to resistance. I'm probably going to be moving on to squats and actual benching. My gym is pretty busy, so it's kind of hard to find that stuff open usually, but you know, I'm going to be trying to move over to that stuff, or maybe I don't have to. That's one of the big questions I need answered is like, is resistance training significantly worse than doing something like squats and dumbbells all the time and, you know, lying down on a bench and actually benching? Let me know. So I start with the shoulder press to get my shoulders, basically this sort of motion. And that one really sucks, but that's what I start with. From there, I move on to tricep pull downs. You guys know those machines with all the stuff you can do with biceps and triceps. Basically, you hold on to 2 ropes like this and you pull down slowly, working out your triceps. From there, I go over to where the dumbbells are, and I get one of those long bars with weights already attached, and I basically do bicep curls in front of the mirror. After that, I do the benching resistance machine for pecs, and this is what I want answered. You know, is actual benching significantly better than sitting on that machine and, you know, pushing out forward? I mean, I feel it. I definitely feel it in my pecs, but I'm just wondering how much the actual, you know, benching is better, if it is. Then I do a back machine, and I have a problem with actually feeling my back muscles, and I've always had this problem. It usually goes to my arms, you know, whether it's the machine where you're like rowing alternatively or the machine where you're like pulling back, and you're supposed supposed to feel it in your back, but I never feel anything in my back. So I'm wondering if you guys know about that at all. After that, I do an ab machine. They all pretty much feel the same no matter which one I do. So I just pick, those are usually filled as well. So I usually just pick whichever one's open. And then I finish with leg press, and my legs are very, very strong. So I usually do like a really, really, really high weight. And the leg press is the one that after I'm done with that, I'm literally walking back to the water fountain completely out of breath with a huge knot in my stomach. Like, that's the workout that is really a workout. So again, all of that is 8 to 12 reps, 3 sets, 3 days a week, and then on Sunday I do an hour of cardio. Oh, and just a side note, I'm constantly getting water, so don't worry about dehydration or anything like that. So I'm going to be working on macronutrients soon, but other than that, what do you guys think? Is there anything I'm doing majorly wrong? Is there anything I'm doing majorly right? Let me know, and please don't say anything unless you're sure about it. There's so much misinformation already on the internet. Yeah, I want your opinion, but if you're just throwing it out there and you're really not sure what you're talking about, that's not going to help me at all. The goal here is to work out and eat as efficiently as possible. Thank you guys so much for all of the feedback in advance. I will be reading every single comment, I can promise you, and replying to as many as possible. That's it for this week, ladies and gentlemen. See you next time.